Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. It's been a week since my last confession. I've been having a lot of feelings of jealousy this week. Elizabeth's been seeing Quentin like every day. He's loving her broken arm. He gets to make her meals and open her post like he's a guardian angel or something. I'm her guardian angel. I'm the one who is safe to protect her. I'd like to see Quentin jump off a cliff and see if a miracle saves him. Actually, I'd really just like to see him jump off a cliff. He takes her out, too. I keep a log of the reading on Elizabeth's odometer, but that's no help when they go in his car. I'll have to start logging that, too, I guess. They did take Elizabeth's car once, because someone had slashed all of Quentin's tyres. Also, they'd smashed his windscreen and keyed down both sides of the car. Stick that on my tab. Yeah, the one time they took Elizabeth's car, they did an 8.6-mile round trip. They were gone for about 3 hours, which is about right for the cinema, so I'm pretty sure that's where they went. I looked up the film times later. I think he took her to see Garfield. See, they've only been going out a fortnight, and already he's treating her like shit. Normally they'd get together in the evenings, but yesterday he turns up mid-morning, and they disappear into the back of the house. There aren't any good hiding places in Elizabeth's back garden, but her neighbours have got a climbing frame with an enclosed section where I'm pretty well concealed on all sides, and there's a little gap where I can peer through into Elizabeth's study. She spent all afternoon with him, while he did a load of paperwork. Yeah, he really knows how to treat a girl. Just the two of them together all afternoon. Unless you count Elizabeth's stupid cockatiel, which watched the whole thing from its cage with great interest. Eventually, Quentin left, and Elizabeth went for a walk. She's been going for a lot of these long walks lately, killing some of the time she's got in her hands while she waits for her arm to heal. At first I followed, but they're mainly over fields, which present limited opportunities for concealment. She usually goes 6 or 7 miles, so I knew she'd be gone a couple of hours, and that gave me an idea. I'd been feeling jealous that Quentin got to look after her, but this was my chance, wasn't it? I was pretty sure they wouldn't be seeing one another again today, and it would be dinner time when she got back. All Quentin ever cooks for her is sausages and mash, or fish and chips. I suppose it's as much as you can expect from a will writer who isn't even a proper solicitor, but me, I'm an excellent cook. Before I met Elizabeth, when I didn't have any friends, I used to have hours and hours with nothing better to do than make big elaborate dinners for one. Only you can never get the right quantities for one, so I always ended up making too much. And then I'd eat it all or it would be wasted. And that's how I got fat. Like I say, I look very different now to when Elizabeth knew me. But it taught me to cook, and now it was time to put that knowledge to good use. I let myself in and had a rummage in the cupboards to see what I'd got to work with. She was actually pretty well stocked. I figured out I'd got enough to make chicken cacciatore with roast potatoes, broccoli and blue cheese soup to start, and a basic cheesecake for dessert. Getting that lot ready in 2 hours would be touch and go, but I figured I could pull it off. I did too. It was pretty hairy towards the end. I had no way to be certain how long she'd be gone, so I was ready to make a run for it out the back if I heard a key in the lock. While it was all cooking away, I had a bit of time to kill, so I thought I'd pop into the study and have a read through of those papers Elizabeth and Quentin had been working on all day, doing my best to avoid the suspicious looks from her cockatiel in the corner. I'm glad I did too. It turns out the will writer had been seducing her with his professional services. It was Elizabeth's will. I don't know why someone young and healthy like Elizabeth needs a will. But I suppose will writers have an inflated view of the importance of these things. It's like dentists. You know, you don't get your vital organs checked out until there's a problem, but with teeth you're supposed to have a regular checkup every 6 months. What, I'm more concerned about toothache than a heart attack. Anyway, Elizabeth's will. I got so engrossed I almost burnt the chicken cacciatore. Quite sad, actually. She hasn't really got anyone to leave things to. Oh, she's in this ridiculous relationship with Quentin, but that's only 2 weeks old. All she's left him is her granddad's old wax cylinder records. He told her the day they met that he collects them. Everything else she's divided between friends and a few cousins. She hasn't got any immediate family. Her parents are dead. That's why she inherited her granddad's house. And actually, that's the only thing she's got of any value. She's left that to the aunt who raised her after she was orphaned. It was fascinating reading, but then the oven dinged, so I put everything back how I'd found it and finished my preparations. When I left the house, there was a delicious, freshly cooked 3-course meal laid out on the kitchen table, with a candle burning, and Christa Berg songs playing softly in the background. We were going to have the perfect 3-course meal for one, with me watching from my field across the road. I timed it pretty well. She got back not long after I left, and I couldn't wait to see her face when she discovered this wonderful surprise. But it was strange. When she saw it, she didn't even smile. She cried and shook, and it was more like I'd smeared the words "die, die, die" on the wall in shit than made her a lovely meal. In fact, it was almost exactly like the time I did that. I was so disappointed. But it got me thinking, and I thought, maybe I've gone too far. She doesn't know who did this. She doesn't know my motives are pure. If only I could tell her. And then I thought, why not? There's a public phone box just down the street. I gave her a call. I didn't think she was going to answer, the state she was in, but I left it ringing, and eventually she picked up. She was all, "Who is this?" I was all, "I can't tell you that, but there's no need to be afraid. I'm not going to hurt you." She was all, "Tell me who you are, you fucker. Why the fuck are you doing this to me? Stop fucking with my life." Sorry, Father, she said fuck a lot. She was all, "Adrian, is that you?" Adrian, that's the guy she was dating before that I got her to dump. That was the first thing I did to help her, so everything that followed she must have assumed was him. Well, I didn't like him getting the credit, but it meant she was less likely to guess the truth, so I decided to neither confirm nor deny. We chatted a bit longer. I say chatted, it was basically me promising not to hurt her, and her swearing and crying and screaming and demanding that I tell her who I am. I hung up in the end. It was great to talk to her again, but she was basically being a bitch. I think it helped, though. She was understandably concerned about who'd been in our house making her dinner, but I think I managed to reassure her that it wasn't some kind of nutter. She'll sleep soundly from now on. We both will.